have to restart OBS one time because it did that whole no sound again, just for the game. So
OBS, let's go.
hey, that's what you get when the price tag is free. Sir, do not chew on the plastic. Okay.
We're live. We should get a go live notification. Oh shit! Matchpoint Tennis Championships is up on Game Pass. So, sorry, we're gonna take a look at it.
It's better than adults only tennis.
Well, let's find out. We need to stream it.
I don't know, man. I love me some adults only tennis.
Is it good?
It'd be hard to beat that one.
Is it pretty solid?
I just like the name title.
Oh yeah, adults only tennis.
Not sure about the game.
Adults only.
You just like the title,
Is it like Triple X tennis?
like
BMX
Triple X. Yeah. Do you remember selling that?
Triple X the movie. The claimed one, yeah.
I haven't gotten a go live notification yet.
I have not.
I got it on the YouTube's. I never got one on the Twitch.
Yeah,
so
we got one
No,
person.
I haven't got one on Twitch.
We got one
I see
person
it.
watching us on YouTube.
that is me on Twitch right now watching.
Yeah, for the time being, the three of us need to pull up the Twitch stream, I think, because that's the one that they really are monitoring.
I'm on both of
got
them,
both
so
of them?
that's usually what I do every week.
Oh, that
Yeah.
works then.
If you want me to pull the Twitch stream on the Switch, I can. Let me go over the top. I can.
I think the missus and I did that, and I think it's like they see the IP address or something, so maybe if you had one on mobile and one on something, that would help. But as long as we get because for some reason we dipped down after that last stream. Our recording,
Hey.
every time I looked at our recording, we had 6 people on, and they said it was like 2.8 or something last episode, and I don't know how.
I don't know. Maybe their numbers are wrong in the back end. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, that or we just sucked at
We
that.
did not. We had enough people on there. And it was Sunday night NOFODcast. Do with Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels. Al Michaels is on a new show now, right? Isn't he gone from the Sunday Night Football?
He's
He's the new Amazon one?
I think he's in he's in ESPN. I think ABC.
Oh.
Because they pulled him and they pulled Troy Aikman.
That's right, because it's
both
Aikman
of
and
them
Joe
are
Buck
calling,
are doing Monday Night Football, right?
No, him and Joe Buck are doing Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, Al Michaels must have went to Amazon.
I think he
You're
did.
right. I'm getting it mixed up with Joe Buck. I forgot Joe Buck got pulled over there.
You saw Baker Mayfield to Panthers?
Yeah, for a conditional 5th round pick.
They really got gold for him. I think it was the cost split, though, the whatchamacallit, the salary dump thing.
I mean, they're fronting. I think the Panthers are paying a third of it.
Yeah.
But even then, they came out and said he's not going to start. He has to compete with Sam
So
Darnold.
stupid. I saw.
And then you drafted Matt Corral
Yep.
during the draft recently. So I'm like, now you got to figure out what you're going to do.
They have 2 of the top 3 picks from the 2018 draft, and they drafted neither one of those quarterbacks. So
I mean, they're going to get a deal
stupid.
out of one of them, right?
So one of them's going to perform. I think my money's on Baker. I hadn't seen nothing from Sam Darnold. They said he got hosed by the Jets, but he sucked last year.
I mean, he did great the first 4 games, and they were like, oh, and then he just fell
Sorry,
off.
Brant. This is the. So me and Cesar talk sports. You and Cesar talk anime. And you and I talk.
Or Stranger Things.
You and I
Oh
talk
my gosh.
job relations.
You finished Stranger Things?
Yes.
You saw that? You saw that Metallica Master of Puppets is flying up the charts because of that song? Was on the final
That was
episode?
a great scene.
Oh, is it in-
That was
is
a
it in
great
this
scene.
season?
Yeah, Metallica was very impressed by it when they
Mhm.
watched it. They were like, hell yeah. It's like, that's how you use our
Metal
music.
as
Came out
hell.
there. Yeah.
That's a good ass song. We started.
Dun, dun,
We're 3
dun.
episodes into Umbrella Academy. We chose to go the Umbrella Academy route right before Stranger Things.
I mean, technically you got till season 5 because it's set up for season 5.
We just finished 3 like 3 months ago, so we're always slightly behind. All right, y'all ready to knock this thing out?
Sure. I'm still going through my One Piece, so I'm like episode 575. So. I've done that in 3 months.
It still says we only have 2 people. I don't understand how this works. One on Twitch and one on YouTube. Cesar has 2 feeds up. I have 1. Brand has 1.
I have 1. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it gives.
It's showing 3 on Twitch, and just me on YouTube. I'm watching
Restream
myself.
has 2. It drives me crazy.
There might be a delay, man. I wouldn't stress out about it.
No, I mean we got to record the episode. It doesn't really matter if there's 1 or 70. If there's 70, I'm gonna freak out. But we got to do what we got to do.
I mean, if we get VTuber Brant, we would get like up to at least 1,000.
Oh my god.
Hey,
just pay the $5,000 to get your model and get it rigged.
Hey, we got our hot tub Brant stream. That was when we added like 7 followers on Twitch. So we just needed more hot tub streams.
I will literally, people will tune in if you just call it VTuber Brand. That's your VTuber name, VTuber Brand. You got normal Brand, VTuber Brand.
We've replaced former news correspondent Brant McKee with VTuber Brand. Speaking of VTuber Brand, his window just shrunk down again.
Was a VTuber enough?
I'm watching to see if it happens.
His VTuber couldn't be contained. You'll see it, Brant. You'll see it go crazy. There you go. You shrunk down. Our windows get hosed, and I don't know what does it. It just goes crazy. I can't lock it in for some reason.
It's weird.
Are you not in like was it studio
Honestly,
mode?
it's those NDI sources.
It's the NDI.
That's what hoses us every time with this stuff. That's
Fucking hell.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 216 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game, NFL, and anime podcast. we're all of those things now.
Jack of all trades.
Tonight, Infamous and Sly Cooper are off the radar. Atari 50th collection announced. You complained, it worked. No more 360 lames with gold. I put that bit in there. Lollipop Chainsaw remake revs up. Release dates: God of War and Valkyrie Profile. And Super Nintendo Entertainment System manual archiving? ? What is that? Find out later in the show. I am Richard Bergman, joined tonight by VTuber Brant.
Contributing in a limited capacity to news this week.
Very limited, but you did throw some good stuff in there.
You built the news like before I could even blink.
I had some free time where I could not look at the 2 screens that I had been looking at for hours before that, and I needed a slight break, so I chose a smaller screen to glance at for a minimal amount of time. Not a whole lot amount of time, just very minimal. Very minimal. And Page Master himself, Cesar Concepcion II.
I'm here.
Have pages.
Christopher Lloyd has taught me everything he knows.
Oh, that's all we could ever ask for.
Yeah.
You see how it helped out Jack Nicholson in The Cuckoo's Nest. That went well for him, the Christopher Lloyd lessons. God, that was an ensemble cast. Brandon, have you seen Cuckoo's Nest?
Movie.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a classic. That's an all-time favorite of mine. All right, let's get into this news. Much to the chagrin of, I guess, everybody on this podcast. I would say...
I think I mentioned it last week when I said rumors abound about certain things, and then publishers come out and say, nope, we ain't doing that.
Ended up being quite the opposite. According to Jordan Gerblick at GamesRadar.com, no Sly Cooper or Infamous games in development or planned. Sucker Punch confirms. So this actually does not come from the reporter at Games Radar. It is he's just reporting on something that Sucker Punch themselves mentioned. In an update shared to Sucker Punch's official website, the studio reveals some bad news for fans of Infamous and Sly Cooper, of which there are none on this podcast. Not only are there no plans for new games in those series, just like on this podcast,
Garbage games.
but there aren't any other studios working on them either. Sucker Punch says it'll never say never when it comes to reviving those franchises, but for now, it seems the studio is focused solely on one big project. We know many people still play these games even today, so we'll be performing maintenance on Infamous 2 UGC servers soon to move them to a new home that will keep them up and running a bit longer, Sucker Punch said. We will eventually need to sunset these, but want to keep them running for as long as possible for players who are still active. Sucker Punch Communications Manager Andrew Goldfarb. There's a name for you.
Good old Goldfarb.
Yep.
Also noted Persona 5 fan who's probably going to complete 100% of every game that comes out of that
And
version.
Pokemon Go fan. Didn't he fly to Japan to get some kind of limited release Pokemon Go?
Yeah, there's one in Japan, there's one in Australia, and I think there's like one near Russia. There's one in like certain regions around the world. I think he ended up getting all of them.
Yeah.
But I think he traded for the ones. He only went to Japan for one of them, but I think he traded somebody else with the extras he got from Japan. I think, if I remember correctly.
And I'll give this to him. That IGN PlayStation podcast back in the day, the podcast Beyond with Colin and Greg Miller and Goldfarb and what Tim Geddes was on there. Them alongside Giant Bomb like got me into. Well, Cesar introduced me to both of them, to be honest, but got me into like consuming this content, driving into work, and that's when I like got on the podcast wagon. I know it's well after they're still readily available on pods per se, but that's when I really dove into video game podcast stuff.
You just described like half the plot of Back to the Future 2. You just hit your head on the sink, and then the idea of the flux capacitor just came
Essentially,
on.
but it was just in the form of Andrew Goldfarb, who is now Sucker Punch Communications Manager. He says, here's an honest update on where things currently stand with Sly and Infamous, which hopefully puts some misleading rumors to bed. We're working on keeping the UGC servers up as long as possible and releasing Second Son's Cold Legacy DLC missions for all. So that is a cool little side piece that there is some DLC coming to everyone. As Brant mentioned, there had been some rumors. The company starts off the written update by mentioning Rocket Robot on Wheels, Sly Cooper Infamous, and most recently Ghost of Tsushima, and then goes on to confirm with specificity.
There we go.
Specificity? What are we going with there? Specificity? That two of those series aren't in active development, so unless the studio's next big reveal is a sequel to Rocket Robot on Wheels, was not a bad game and looks amazing with that N64 upscaling stuff, the AI, HDR and everything. Ghost of Tsushima 2 would seem the most likely bet based on the process of elimination, says Jordan Gerblick of Games Radar. I would at least hope, and I know aren't all the Infamous games on that new PlayStation tier?
Yes. Streaming
and
wise,
there's no Sly games, correct?
I think we've multiple times confirmed that over and over again.
Okay, I think that would be
people's disappointment.
Yeah, I think that would be a safe bet for a future update, is the Sly Cooper games. They're on PS2.
Yeah.
They were ported to PS3 and Vita. And I guess all four are available on PS3, aren't they? And Vita.
Yeah, but if Sony keeps that PlayStation subscription service going, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if they throw those in the PS2 emulator at some point. So.
Right, and that's a big get to announce that for your new service that you've added the Sly Cooper games, right? That's not going to be a ho-hum. That's not us reading off the lames with gold when it's announced that Sly Cooper games are back on current gen platforms, because we forget sometimes, because all of us have moved on to PS5. I mean, we still have that native backwards compatibility with PS4 stuff, but there's 120 million PS4s out there that they have access to this exact same catalog that we all do, outside of the Returnals and, the certain PS5 like Demon Souls, the PS5 exclusives, of which there are not many in that service. So there are plenty of people that will benefit from that upper tier on that PlayStation. It's not premium. It's premium and the one below that.
Essential Plus. There's Plus even in there? It's premium and what was... fuck, man. This is why it's so annoying.
I know. The tiers are just strange. It could have been bronze, silver, and gold. They could have stuck with their trophy tier.
It's essential, extra, and
extra,
premium.
Extra,
and
yeah,
premium.
there we go. What does any of that mean, man?
They are hitting me up. I know you guys Cesar was already good, and Brant did the conversion.
Yeah.
Anytime I go into their, I clicked on it, what's in that library? They're like, here's how you can upgrade. And it's like $67 for extra, 101 or something like that for the premium. It's right there. It's one click away, and I could click it and be into the premium for the next 2 years. Yeah. Very odd that it's right there front and center, but they're pushing that product. Add the Sly Cooper games, you cowards. Is that the hill I'm going to die on? Is Sly Cooper games? Despite
I
having
don't know,
multiple
man.
copies of all Sly Cooper games.
That's an endless hill, man. It's always like, once
So
they add that, be like, okay, but add this, you son of a bitch.
We need the PS2 Ratchet games. That Ratchet trilogy's not on there. That's also another one.
Yeah, but
They started
There's a
off
bunch of other
strong.
ones, are
They
there,
started off
on
strong.
there?
It's a huge library to begin with. So we'll see what they add to it. And the PS1, of course, we've all noted the PS1 catalog can be expounded upon
endlessly.
thousandfold.
I mean, all we can do is, everybody do their part, especially me and Brand, since we're already in the ecosystem, is just play those games that are on there. I mean, especially the ones you can't buy. I mean, if we show interest in those, and they'll bring more. If not a lot of people play, then there's no point in bringing it. So.
Yep. Next up, this comes from Andrew Webster at TheVerge.com. Atari is getting a massive historical game collection for its 50th anniversary. It had been teased by someone that they were working on something big alongside the Cowabunga collection, and this was unveiled to be their next big get. And did you guys watch the trailer for this? Did y'all see what all was involved in this?
Yes.
I hadn't.
Okay, because I feel like we've been burned out on Atari collections probably for the past 30-ish years.
I own many.
We all do across several platforms.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is done by Digital Eclipse, of course. They have all sorts of gaming history notes in here. There's interviews with developers. There's behind-the-scenes things. There's a timeline that you go down where you can play games along the timeline. We're getting Jaguar games. We're getting Lynx games. This isn't just the usual 2600
No Bubsy
collection.
outright.
They're going to give you Bubsy. What were the Jaguar games I saw? Atari Karts was one of them, which already is like, okay, that legitimizes. I mean, where else can you play a Jaguar game these days?
I don't know.
Outside
I
of
mean,
Mister.
the only game I played on Jaguar was Bubsy. I put a lot out. That was the only one I had.
Full disclaimer, I reached out to Digital Eclipse studio head Mike Micah after this was announced and said, I'm super excited for this. I can't believe Atari Karts is available. And he said, yes, a lot of work put into it today. We announced it. The studio's resting today, but we're going to get back to it. So we do follow each other on Twitter. If there's any sort of weird thing with influences or anything like that, we're not sponsored by. I wish we were.
We're not sponsored by
Oh
anybody,
God,
let's put it
I'd
that
work
way.
for Digital Eclipse so fast. I'd drop everything I was doing and move to North Carolina. Anyways, this is going to be a hell of a collection. This article notes Atari 50. It's called Atari 50, the Anniversary Collection. Will feature more than 90 games, including 6 new titles inspired by the classics. From consoles like 2600, Jaguar, and Lynx, along with archival photos, images, and even interviews. They go on to the next whole bit is about how great Digital Eclipse is, and I certainly agree. When it comes to emulation or bringing classics back or doing really any sort of remastering or reimagining, I don't know if there's anybody who does it better than Digital Eclipse. So they were always our first choice, Atari CEO Wade Rosen told Game Informer. So first off, this is 100% going to be an awesome collection. Secondly, Atari has made a good decision after how many years of awful decisions? We've had the speaker hat. We've had that shitty VCS thing that... Cesar, have you messed with it yours at all?
It's still sealed in the plastic around the box.
Exact same. Mine is in the exact same condition. So after all these Atari missteps, like this is an actual representation of that legacy. I don't know if they're going to get the Activision stuff from the 2600. That's always a stickler to me. We're not going to get those awesome ports of Donkey Kong. Like I'm sure the 7800 version of Donkey Kong that I love to play is not going to be on there. But this is going to be an awesome collection. And I think it's $30. It's either 30 or 40, which I think is...
I would pay 64.
Yeah,
I don't care if it costs $60.
They're putting some amazing archival stuff in here. And Atari, as we've said, that name caused the crash. It got sold off. It was Infogrames for all that time. And then it seems like they've slapped that Atari logo, that symbol on just about everything in our lifetimes. And that's all it's really been is a brand or a neon sign in the new Blade Runner movie. You know what I mean? So this is an actual representation of its history in a great collection. Would be cool to see like some River Raid, of course. I'm always going to throw that out there. It would be cool to see the Alien vs. Predator game that everybody raves about on the Jaguar on there. It would be cool to see some weird Jaguar CD offshoot anything on there. Maybe Myst. Myst is seemingly getting licensed for a bunch of stuff, so
We want Mist. I got real Mist on the Switch. I can stream that. It's boring as fuck.
We should all get on a stream and try to make it through Mist. And I think I may
can't
have
even make it by myself. What the fuck?
I may have a guide for Mist.
So you're gonna be the guy. You're gonna be the Marcus Brody.
Yes.
For our group.
I speak
You're the
1,000
guy for
languages.
Mist. as we get lost. Are we still lost in Mist?
Follow me, I know the way.
Go that way. Indy.
Oh, I love me some Marcus Brody. What a character. You gave the diary to Marcus? He gets lost in his own museum.
Speaks a dozen languages.
Oh,
What is it, like 3 days head start?
they were on this weekend, and I watched bits and pieces. I just had them on in the background for July 4th, and they were on bits and pieces. And I thought Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was coming up, and when Last Crusade ended, they went right back to Raiders. I was like, okay, they even know they don't put it in there for the Indiana Jones marathon. They even know. All right, those are all your Atari games. Someone tell me about these Xbox lames with gold.
Damn, you just pass off the shitty stuff to everybody else.
They finally got tired. Everybody got tired.
Literally
of it,
bitched about this 48 hours ago.
Yeah. But yeah, less than 24 hours ago, they started sending out emails.
I got a personalized
and
one.
notifications
Did y'all
to
get
people.
personalized?
Yeah, one with your name on it. Holy shit. They wanted you to stay, Richard. They're like, we heard what you said. Highway 81 East.
Please keep
We're
subscribing.
getting rid of it.
But what is this? It's starting from October 2021. Monthly games with gold Game Pass Ultimate will no longer I guess not Game Pass Ultimate.
Brant means
But the,
2022, but yes, we have not really gotten decent titles since October 2021.
Brand, you had it right, buddy. We're still a year behind.
Yeah. And they've been that garbagey for the past 10 months.
I can't name off my hand how many throughout this year that have been good. I'm trying to. I can't.
Or they've been repeats. If they were good titles, which maybe we're not the audience for that, but they've been repeats. And they note in that, I'm sure Brant's going to come to this, but they've almost like the backwards compatibility stuff, they've run out of titles.
And that's what they say, that we've reached our limit of availability to bring Xbox 360 games to the catalog. However, games with gold will continue to include Xbox One titles and exclusive savings each month.
So this does make a sense. Okay, we're always looking at ways to evolve the Xbox experience based on community engagement, feedback, and shifting company priorities, they said. So that essentially means we've converted everything to Game Pass. We're not going to be giving these games out in this service, which I would say that is the way better value if you're only paying for Xbox Live Gold to get these titles versus your subscription fees for Game Pass Ultimate. I think we would all say that's a no-brainer on that one.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't put it in here, and I mean, we might save it. But did y'all see the Game Pass ads this month?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh!
No, not yet.
Is it good stuff?
Do you want me to go over it?
Sure, let's shoot. It's going to be a week and a half before we record again. So
July. Here we go. So basically, we're just getting the Yakuza games back.
2 games that had already left.
Yakuza 0
and Kiwami.
Kiwami and Kiwami 2.
But that now means all the Yakuza games are available on Game Pass again, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is important.
Continue, Brian.
Available today. Last Call BBS. That's a PC game.
Is that the old forum emulator type thing? Cesar, you remember BBS? Like AOL Online before?
Is a retro computer full setup of puzzle games. I mean, it just...
what was it? Fucking... Was it Net Zero or some shit like that was also another one? I had the free disc.
Oh, yeah. The like Juno and stuff.
Juno. So this is Juno, Net Zero.
This is
and
before
AOL.
That. BBS, I'm thinking.
Oh shit! It is
like,
Net Zero. Yeah, hell yeah.
And the blue light, the Kmart discs.
No, I literally had like a 28.8 Bond modem on that Packard Bell I had, and it was connecting to the internet took like, it was a 45-minute affair. Like, just logging into the space, and it was so slow, I didn't know what the fuck to do with it. And then I just logged off.
Get it started and walk off and make coffee and do everything else.
You need more than that. You get to take a bath, start the laundry,
Make another coffee.
Yeah, go to the store, buy some meat.
Buy meat.
We're also getting DJ Mad Respect 5 for cloud console and PC.
That's the first time
this
that's
week.
been on Xbox, right?
I was gonna say, is that the old
Yeah.
PSP like music franchise?
Yeah. That's a PSP Betaman. I have like an actual import one from Korea, like the very first one on the PSP.
Those were a big deal when
It's
they
like-
first came out. Are they still consistently? Are they good?
They're very good. Yeah, that one's been out on PS5 for the longest. Surprising that they got it.
That's a big get then.
Yeah.
Matchpoint Tennis Championships.
Yes, we're gonna stream this.
Cloud and console PC.
Ayo,
We're gonna
baby.
stream
Ayo.
this as Cesar plays adults only tennis on his hot tub stream.
Yes. Well, I
Road
film everything for OnlyFans. So
Road 96. That's that new road trip.
like an action
Kind of
adventure
like
game.
action, adventure.
Like a-
If I hear 96 at the end of something, it needs to be about the Atlanta Olympics and Izzy's adventures or something like that. It's gonna have to be Summer Games themed.
Well, you'll have to play
was there a good
Road
Was there a good Olympics game on Super Nintendo?
on Super Nintendo now.
The Atlanta ones were garbage, right? All the Atlanta games.
I think they were trash.
Sucks.
We didn't really hit that. I don't think we really hit that stride until Sydney. I think it was the next one.
Oh, the good one, the Sega one,
Dreamcast, yeah. Sega may have had that license. That might not have been on anything else.
And those titles come out as a recording tomorrow. And then later this month we have Escape Academy, and that's console and PC.
Escape Academy.
Then My Friend Peppa Pig, cloud console and PC.
Oh yeah.
Game of the year.
Overwhelm on PC. Paw Patrol the movie, Adventure City Calls, cloud console and PC. Power Wash Simulator, cloud console.
This will be very popular. I think there'll be a lot of streams on this.
Yeah,
one.
Power Wash is actually, I've seen stuff with that. I can add to some hilarity there.
I have many hundreds of sidewalks that need power washing. So if someone gets like really good at this and they just want to bring that into the real world, this skill set that they develop in this game, you may come. I will let you exhibit these skills in real time, and you can try out some real pressure washing.
Down here, I mean, it's so sticking hot outside, and
I have
I
so
don't want to be
much.
standing out there for hours on end pressure washing.
I have so much sidewalk. It's ridiculous.
I used to think it was hot down here, but then go to Arkansas. It's like sweating balls 24/7.
Arkansas's worse.
Yeah, it's 100% humid every day, all the time.
Nice.
Like I'm out there like 10 p.m. at night, and it still feels like I'm like 90 degrees humid. It's bad. I can't live out there. They're like, come over here. I was like, hell no.
Oof.
No offense if they're watching. I'm sorry, but hell
We
no.
love our fans from Arkansas. Renee might be in Arkansas right now.
In case you missed it, available right now. There's House Flipper on cloud console PC.
Which is currently the number 19 most played game on Xbox, I think, or top 15 or something like that. It's ahead of Halo Infinite, if that says anything.
That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
The Avengers game introduces the Jane Foster Thor. Fall Guys Robo Rabbit costume.
Sure.
I'm guessing these are all of the freaking DLC things.
I know
I'm
there's
just gonna
a
skip all
Halo
that.
crossover with Fall Guys as well. But that might be a Master Chief Collection bonus and not something in Fall Guys.
And we'll go ahead and jump to the leaving July 15th. We have Atomic Crops.
God damn it.
Carry On, Children of Morta, Chris Tales, and Lethal Legend Blaze.
Okay. I don't think there's any huge losses in there. I think we all had high hopes for Crease Tales, but you can get that physical for like $10 everywhere, it seems like. If you'll be missing it on Game Pass.
But the good thing, you look at this list, man, it's like so much fucking variety.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not heavy hitters like Guardians of the Galaxy or anything like that, but like you have your Yakuza games, which is heavy hitters, but then you have like music game, a tennis game, adventure game,
Simulator
couple
genre
kids
game.
games. You
Yeah.
know, Peppa Pig, Paw Patrol. I mean, it's a lot. It's like at least something for everybody type situation. It's
Yeah.
it's a good month.
It really is. It's a wide variety. It's something for everybody, like you said. All right, let's bring it crashing back down with Lames with Gold.
We already did that, sir.
It's over. We did it last week. Let's not do it again.
Oh, they're just saying that's right. They're just saying no longer 360 games from October.
You're so a Manchurian candidate. You're going right to.
I saw Torchlight, and I was like, I'm pretty sure we all said Torchlight was the good game out of this collection here. Next up, a Lollipop Chainsaw remake has been announced for 2023. This comes from Chris Scullion at VideoGamesChronicle.com. I think he's written some books. That name sounds familiar. I think he wrote that Now You're Playing with Power book. I'll have to look that up. A remake of cult action game Lollipop Chainsaw has been announced by one of its former publishers. Yoshimi Yasuda was previously the CEO of Kadokawa Games, which published Grasshopper manufactured titles Lollipop Chainsaw and Killer is Dead in Japan. He was also executive producer on both titles. In May, it was announced that Yasuda would be leaving Kadokawa and would be establishing a new company called Dragami Games. I think we talked about that on this show.
Yes.
And now Yasuda has confirmed that a Lollipop Chainsaw remake is one of the company's first projects. In a statement posted on Twitter, Yasuda said, unfortunately, various factors resulted in things making it so that fans can no longer easily play Lollipop Chainsaw. I'm going to add my own edit in here and say that is the licensed soundtrack. I looked at the music, and that is probably a good reason why it is no longer playable in anything. And it has been some time since players have not been able to access the game on current consoles. We, the original development staff on Lollipop Chainsaw, think of the game as very precious to us and do not want to leave it in limbo where players who want to play it cannot. As such, we purchased the Lollipop Chainsaw intellectual property from Kadokawa Games and decided to develop a remake. We've already contacted Warner Brothers, who published the game outside Asia, about development and are being supported by them in this endeavor. So look forward to, here we go, he does mention the soundtrack thing, so it was deeper in here. For instance, the original game had 15 licensed songs using the soundtrack, but it is unfortunately difficult for us to implement all of them at this time. He explained, as a result, aside from a few licensed tracks, the soundtrack will consist of new music. It seems like, as we look over preservation and what games are backwards compatible and what games are available as ports and things like that, music licensing has become a thorn in our sides. I can think of so many racing games where music was included that they won't allow to go forwards. Forza has been gimped in the past from being carried forward due to some of those licensing things, and racing games more so with some of the logos and emblems. And like I remember this with Wave Race, the 64 game with Kawasaki logos and such.
Kawasaki.
But music is GTA 4, I think, is the biggest hit on that. It lost so many out of its soundtrack, and it was hard to continue moving those forwards. And the GTA games are also notable for their licensed soundtracks. But I looked at this. I actually watched a bit of a playthrough of this game. It's only like 5 or 6 hours. I don't know if it's because the person was just that good at it, but first off, it's not that long. It looks super stylish, and the music selection was really good. There were some good tracks in there, so it'll be interesting to see what they come up with for this one as far as the new soundtrack editions. I'm sure these are the original developers. They've got a hold of the license.
That bastard.
What?
Your brother.
You're getting lit up.
He's lighting me up for jump on
to play some Halo. Like he doesn't know you're.
I told him what I was
like
doing.
He doesn't know you're
busy.
busy.
Like, man, I'm doing this, and he's still lighting me up.
I think he's been playing since like 5:30, so he's looking for some compadres. They say, in any case, our goal is to make it easier for gamers who want to play Lollipop Chainsaw to do so. Please look forward to the game's 2023 release. Video Game Chronicle goes on to note, it was released in 2012 for 360 and PS3 and has never seen a subsequent re-release. It's not backwards compatible on Xbox and isn't listed among the streamable PS3 games on PlayStation Plus. Is this another one that did not perform well on PS3? Did we talk about that recently? Or is this one okay?
That around that time is when it was late in the PS3 life cycle, where PS3 had caught up on the 360.
Yeah, people figured it out.
I think they were either performing just as well or close to. But that one was like one of those games where that whole thought it's a Japanese game on play on PlayStation type situation. That whole mentality.
Yep. I believe that's the first platform I bought it for, but I think I was doing mostly PS3 purchases at that time. What was the game we were just talking about that ran Orange Box?
Yeah.
Totally not related. You can almost correlate that shift, Cesar, with PS3 rebranding, with getting rid of the Spider-Man font on the box art and having like the PS3 at the top. It seems like that's when we got away from the runs like crap on PS3 era and got to be more of an equal footing on both platforms as developers
we had
figured it out.
PS3 was around so long, it was rebranded 3 times because the final one was those blue title cards before the one to PS4.
They were, and we've had those ever since, right? The blue boxes.
The blue label, because you had I'm looking at it. You have I think I have one of each. But continue. Don't wait on me. Continue.
Yeah, the blue label is like Drakengard 3 and a couple other titles.
Yeah.
I think one of the MLB The Shows had that blue label on it. Brant's showing us Katamari Forever with the old Spider-Man font.
Then the
regular. What game is that, Brant?
That's Injustice.
Gods
and
Among Us.
The ones that had like the move support.
Oh yeah. And now the PS4 titles had the headset on them underneath there, just like that. Just like that.
Just like that.
Show us MLB The Show 15 with the blue tag.
I'm looking. I don't have.
I actually
that
don't
blue tag
see.
was very, very into the.
Yeah, there's
like,
not a bunch
It
of
was
them.
supposed to match the PS Vita stuff. That's why they did the blue tag.
But it was so late.
I don't see any of my stuff that has the.
Uh-oh, do I have one in my collection? If you guys don't.
I have one. I don't have time to sit here and wait for us to look. Wait for me to look for it because it's not. There wasn't that many of them. So.
Yeah, play Where's Waldo.
Do y'all have any of the favoritos? Do you have any of the Hispanic favorites collection? I think I have a Resistance game that's a favorito. Resistance or... Alright, let me look at my collection real quick. I got a picture of it. So when I go to the store, I'm not stymied by... Do I have this or not? I don't think I have one either.
So, while we're going on with that, today we got the announcement through a random drop trailer. I think this trailer was scheduled to come out, is it like last week? Via the Snitch.
The one you named, Richard.
Via the Snitch. Yeah, Drakengard 3. I knew you'd have it.
There it is. Yeah. Okay.
It was the Snitch.
But for some reason it got delayed till this week. But Thor or God of War Ragnarok will launch PS5 and PS4 this November, the 9th.
Remember, the 9th of November.
I'm done.
They also announced 2 different versions, a collector's edition and a... where'd it go? A Jotner edition?
Launch Standard Digital Deluxe Collectors and Jotnar editions were also announced.
Jotnar?
It's like a Skyrim character's name,
like
right?
It's probably the J's probably silent, so it's gonna be like
Jotnar.
Jotnar.
Yeah, it's like Jotner. I saw the unboxing video that they did.
Take this dragon's claw to Jotnar at White Castle Run.
They'll put a full fucking record LP in there, but they won't put a fucking game disc. That's crazy to me. But
it doesn't have a physical copy in that big collection.
They're all digital. Yeah, they're all digital.
It has a steel book.
All right, what do you get? What do you get in the badass one besides no game disc?
Okay. Hold on. There's the digital deluxe. Where's the actual?
Give us the Jotnar.
Here?
Printed voucher code. Printed voucher code.
Yeah.
Bastards.
And you know the reason why they're doing it is because they don't want to have to sit there and split that up to like 4 different SKUs because they got a PS4 version and a PS5 version. They're like, just make it digital. You get both versions.
Yeah.
So, I see why they did it. But.
I'm just laughing at specifically printed voucher code.
And it says Steelbook display case, no game disc included. Like they literally have to say that.
Classic. How much is that one? I just want to know since I'm not getting a physical disc with it.
I don't know. You'll have to look it up. 2-inch veneer twin carvings in the style of Atreus's wooden toy carvings.
God, this is a bunch of shit.
Dwarven dice set and a 16-inch Milner replica. So that's Thor's hammer. And then the collector's edition also comes with a few less things, I believe.
There's the vinyl record in the Jotnar. 7-inch. That's what's that, a 45 RPM?
Yeah, that sounds about.
That thing will be hauling ass. It's a single. You don't even get the full
Wait,
record.
no, that comes with more. Yeah, that comes with more
stuff.
stuff.
The Jotnar.
So that it comes with Atreus and Kratos, like cosmetic armor, Darkdale blade, handles for the Blade of Chaos. That's also cosmetic.
Yggdrasil cloth map. This cloth map shows each of the 9 realms within the branches and roots of Yggdrasil. Not the PS2 game Yggdrasil. Or was that a GBA game? I'm probably mispronouncing it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Freaking pop-up ads on Gamatsu here.
Hey, it's just one man. Brant, watch the ad. Support the man.
Look on the ad, you son of a bitch.
But you get a lot of stuff if you want to look at the unboxing they did. They did a really cool unboxing video showing you everything. Did either of you find the prices? I don't even know if the prices went up on these.
I don't think
to be honest.
I don't think they've actually officially announced the prices yet.
But I would speculate they're probably expensive as shit.
I'm not going for
Brant with the good guess on this one.
Probably not.
I can't do it anymore with special editions. So.
There was a time I would go for special editions. That time has long since passed.
There was a time where I got every special edition, and Richard knows this because I was working at a certain realtor who clearanced everything for $15, and I was always special collector's editions. So
nice.
This was before collecting got to be what it is now, too. This was in the day when retro games were fairly affordable and that sort of thing. But yes, you're correct, Cesar. Even though you weren't at that retailer when that Elden Ring Collector's Edition came out behind you.
Unfortunately, I had to pay money for that one.
Hold on.
Right next to my Data Live PS4 game is holding it up.
And your Biomutant, which we're getting next-gen upgrades for. Let's go, Biomutant.
It's still sealed in that box. I'm like, yep, time to play it.
My neighbor said it sucked, and I was like, okay, probably won't open mine then.
You saw the tweet they had on there? It was like a very Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Life
will find
a way. Yeah. All right, so after much, there was some brouhaha on the internet about announcing the release date, and criticism got directed to the God of War people, and I don't even know what was happening.
I don't know.
Yeah, they were being harassed about the lack of announcement of a release date. Like, that fucking matters above anything else.
Dude, it all started because that snitch guy, he went out there and he did a code, and it turned out to June 30th.
Is his name Snitch? What is the Snitch guy?
Yeah.
His name's Snitch.
Yeah.
His name is Snitch.
Oh, okay.
On Twitter.
And he doesn't give you like the full answer. He gives you like little riddles. Like when he did what was funny when Crisis Core Remastered was announced, he had a picture of Zach and it had different colors showing all the consoles. And you can look at it and like, all right, I know it's being announced for everything.
Or that it was just going to be RGB.
That too, yeah. So it's like, but he wouldn't clearly state what it was. So
yeah.
But like he announced it was coming out that they were making an announcement at the 30th. And then Corey came out and said, all right, there was nothing he could do. Something came higher up, and they were told to stay quiet. Because I think after that, Jason Schreier had come out and said, like, the snitch, like, for whatever reason, they changed the announcement. They're not going to announce anything that day. And everybody started hitting up everybody that was in that development team, like Alana Pierce, everybody. And was just, like, doing, like, the worst hate speeches. There was some people sending dick pics to some of the girls on the development team. It was bad. It got really out of hand so fast. And, Corey Barlog had to come out there and say, like, please don't send dick pics to, like, people on the team. That's so disrespectful. Because they were upset about not getting the announcement. It got really bad.
They
Like,
did
it got
not.
very, very
This
bold.
fandom did not get an announcement of a release date.
Yeah.
We are the best
was
community
rumored.
most of the time, and then as times like this, we are the worst community.
Unfortunately, the worst of most communities are they tend to be the loudest and most vocal.
It's a shame.
They'll come out of the woodwork to swarm.
And those people are going to be like 3 years into a pandemic developing this game when it comes out. With all the challenges that come with remote collaboration and teamwork and things like that. Like, I do recognize a lot of work can be done remotely, but I'm not sure how game development and collaboration and sharing assets and engine work and things like that, I'm not sure how that works when you're not together. So, but regardless, this is absolutely ridiculous for people to come out and do this kind of stuff.
This is why I miss printed magazines and no internet, man. You just get release dates when you get them.
Yeah, you get your screenshots when you get them.
Yep.
And people can go crazy and talk amongst themselves on the playground about the quarterman rumors and however EGM wants to mislead you.
And then get pissed when game fans starts reviewing import games that they're saying we're gonna get and we never get. So.
Oh, the good old days.
Or that, or what was it? Some of those ads were, I forgot what it was. There were some ads on there where, remember those guys would just sell import games from Japan and they would just list the prices on there. Like, buy this popular Sailor Moon game on Super Nintendo, $118.
Yeah.
Call this 1-800 number and we'll order it for you and ship it to you.
I do remember those days.
Yeah.
Even Cesar back in like the DS days when we were able to go to Fry's Electronics and they had an import selection of PSP and DS stuff, and it was like, oh god. And neither one of those consoles was region locked. It's like we finally broke through the region lock days.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the good days. All right, Valkyrie Elysium, the new Valkyrie. I'm not gonna say it's a Valkyrie profile game, but it's in the Valkyrie series, right? It launches on National Coffee Day, which is September 29th. Another important day for myself, a 10th anniversary of a certain thing. It comes out on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, November 11th for PC. You also get, if you get the Digital Deluxe Edition, you will get a copy of Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, if that is on PlayStation, of course. That version is $74.99 and includes the Valkyrie equipment, Svartjar, Sword of the Goddess of the Underworld. We're in all these Norse mythology words.
Yeah.
And PS5 and PS4 versions of Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, which will also be available separately. It will also feature the rewind, quick save, and visual presets. Sounds like it's going to be a PS1 classic / PSP classic.
It's going to be one of those PSP.
It's just dropped in the Sony emulator. It's just
drag and drop.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do, right? Give us Lemmings, you cowards.
They'll probably
give us Lemmings.
Lemmings. I mean, fucking Sony owns the license. I don't know why they're selling
I drowned
that,
out Brant with my nonsense. Go ahead, Brant.
Oh my god.
Brant mails out of nowhere. But
no, just they're probably striking up with whatever deal with to Square to I don't know. What do you think? Timed exclusivity with this title, both of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if that emulator is going to see the light of day outside of a Sony console because those Konami games still have.
I don't know if they.
And they're in the emulator.
I don't know if they get those ports on Lenneth or not. I agree.
I see them coming to PC at some point down the road.
Yeah.
Because Sony and PC, I can see that happening, but I don't see that unless they rebuild those games or they work out a deal with Sony. I don't see those hitting any other consoles. So.
They can't be worried about people like reverse engineering that backwards compatibility engine or whatever for PC because those games are all playable anywhere. It's not, again, this is not rocket science as far as getting to be able to play these games. It's getting to be able to play these games officially and to support them with supported storefronts and supported wallet avenues.
There are people that are standing there with their money saying, hey, I will give you this money. I want access. And they just buy that thing over there, and then you can buy this.
Including me with 2 copies of Valkyrie Profile on PS1 and Valkyrie Profile Lenneth on PSP.
Mm-hmm.
What was interesting is we got that first, the information on Valkyrie Elysium started going. Like the page went up for it. And then not too long after that, the release date got out for it, and then it was about that time that I was like, I really need to get in, because I've always something about that art style, and then hearing about like the combo systems with the characters in that game and everything. I've always been
Yeah.
interested in it, but never played it. And I've got both 1 and 2, PS1 and PS2 respectively, sitting over here.
I never got very far
Um,
into it, but the like serious tone and the scope and scale of what you were doing and the music, like the music is really, really good. That battle system was very original for the time. I think there's been some other like retro RPG revivals that have kind of aped that. Each character is a button on the that four-sided X, cross, square, all that stuff.
I beat it. I got one in the endings. I've only beaten it once. It's like Star Ocean. I've only beaten it once. I got one in the endings. There's 80 endings in Star Ocean, second story, and I got one.
Good grief.
I'm good.
In this day and age, wouldn't you just watch the other ones? Wouldn't you pull those up on YouTube or something, or would you play through again and try to see
even
those?
Watching 80 endings is tedious, and it's like
Oh, you said 80.
Tedious. 80.
Oh,
endings,
shit.
Yeah. I think Valkyrie Profile was like 8.
Okay, I thought I heard
Yeah,
8 first go around.
7 or 8, something like that.
Star Ocean second story had 80 endings. Yeah, because there was like
Oh my god,
12 different members in your team, and there's different combinations. You beat the game, you got an ending depending on which combination you got. But
Jesus.
if you like that gameplay style, they did try to go back and make Exist Archive, which has that same style on PS4 in Vita. But yeah, because we got this, and then what was it, like a couple hours later, they announced that the Deal Field Chronicle was coming out the 22nd, a week before. It's like Square Enix is fucking like plugging away in September. Like there's like a big game coming out every week from Square Enix. So
What was that, Deal Field? Because I think I saw something about the physical release of that.
Deal Field, yeah, that's the one that's coming on everything.
What's this? But yeah, I was thinking of which version to actually play, whether I should go with the PS1 version or try and find or play a version of Lenneth. But then Lenneth got that kind of shadow announcement as well, so that made it a lot easier.
Sorry, I was getting blown up here. Last but not least in the news, I think it's the last story.
Yeah, I saw this
But it's
too.
not
This
the
is
last
pretty cool.
story. It's the last news story. This comes from VideoGamesChronicle.com and Chris Scullion once again. A Twitch streamer turned archivist has managed to successfully upload digital scans of the manuals for every English language Super Nintendo game. The user, who goes by the name Peebs Online, has spent the last 8 years playing through every... Oh god, he's played every single one. Playing through every Super Nintendo game on Twitch. However, while playing, they noted there wasn't a resource online that provided a full archive of manuals. Over a number of years, Peebs has now completed their own archive and made it available online for anyone to access. That is amazing. The total list of manuals now stands at 844, and while it isn't, quote, complete in the strictest sense of the word, because it doesn't contain PAL and NTSC version manuals, it now at least represents every game with an English language release. That is amazing.
A lot of work.
Yes, in the day and age, and I have many Super Nintendo games. I have very few complete Super Nintendo games. For some reason, I guess people just decided to throw out the cardboard box and the manual with every game they got. It's still mind-blowing to me that it happens. But they have archived this, and it is available for you to go check out for any of those games. And this is back in the day when you would get lore in the manual. You would get instructions on how to do certain moves that you might not have known. You had cool artwork, like the Link to the Past, I think of, has great artwork in it with all these animations of the moves that Link can pull off. And there's just so much extra in, this was the days before we had movie introductions and FMVs and long story pieces. Story during this generation, I would say, really became part of the paramount part of gaming. We had Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI and even Super Metroid in its way with storytelling. It wasn't up front with its storytelling, but we started to notice in this generation that was going to be, and you saw what happened in the PlayStation 64. You saw what happened in that generation. They took on a whole nother depth. And so you would get a lot of that backstory in these manuals, like Street Fighter characters, and you could read. I remember, this is a little bit later, but like the PS1, when I first got Final Fantasy VII, I was pouring through that manual, and all the characters had bios, so you could read like their birthday and their blood type, and all kind of random stuff in there for those Final Fantasy VII characters. But this is a really cool note, I believe.
And they did a lot of work. Yeah. I mean, I saw somebody just have like a little clip, and they were going through some of this. Those scans are unbelievably clean. And the way you can go through them almost does kind of like that ebook thing where it has like the page turning effect even on every time you like turn the page in the manual, but everything looks, they got some good scans, high quality scans of those manuals.
That they did. It's good stuff. Is that it for news?
Quite a good. Yep.
Still getting lit up. Being distracted. Try not to be distracted. Somebody sent me a TV. That's the problem. Don't send me CRTs. Don't send me CRTs.
Uh-oh.
I think I can resist this one. It only has composite or RF input, even at that. We're gonna go into games played.
Sure.
I guess I'm starting us off. I feel like we just did this, so it's a bit of a stretch. I have played some more Grand Theft Auto 5. That is my new... I don't really want to dive into anything. I just want to play a mission or two and kind of duck back out of it. So I believe when I fired it up, I was Michael. And I switched over to Franklin. And he didn't have any like story missions that I could see directly. It's still hard to find the map on that game. I don't know why it's so difficult for me. But there's so many things going on. You can answer your cell phone. You can switch characters. You can... like the map is, for some reason, it's just not intuitive. Like, here's where you need to go, right? And maybe that's just a sign of we've played so many games since that game came out where they maybe hold your hand a little bit more. But I left Michael and switched back over to Franklin, and he had a couple of the tow truck missions. So I did 2 of those because right across from his house is his crazy cousin's girlfriend or whatever she is, where she's hitting on him the whole time and saying that Lamar is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I'm out here running his tow truck. I think I talked about this on a podcast before. It's like, what is this guy doing? He's so great, and he's such a breadwinner for your family, and I'm picking up vehicles, and I'm getting money for you. But it's just part of the craziness of that storyline. And he, like, as I think about Franklin, like, as I met Franklin, he was trying to be legit, and he was working for this shady repo man, and now he's hooked up with Michael. Michael's got him doing crazy shit. This guy is not getting right. His whole goal was to get right in his life, and he cannot get there so far. I hope this game is just like a total redemption arc for Franklin. Played some more Halo, probably 2 days worth since our last recording. I think I had said I maxed out at level 100, so it's really just been a good time joining whatever somebody needs to do, like whoever I'm in a party with. What do you guys need to level up? Let's grind for that and push for that. I'm down with pretty much any of the modes. Had some bullshit rounds today, man. We had a Team Slayer where they beat us. Is that one to 50 or 100 on the 4v4? Is that to 50? Yeah, halfway to victory at 25.
Yeah, I want to say
I'm pretty sure we got beat 50-17. They ran us like I have never been run in Halo before. To the point where, friend of the show, Russell and I were like, there was somebody that was like 12-0 or 13-0. The whole goal from then on out, we knew we were losing, was to kill this one person. Because it was like this combination of like jumping, sliding, and they were shooting you before you could even see them. It was just this crazy maneuver. And I'm like, how do you even pull this off? How are you holding the controller to be able to run, jump, slide, jump, shotgun, slide, jump? Like, how are you even... I had a friend in high school. Well, he's actually the guy that designed our intro and outro song. He would play Mega Man X on Super Nintendo with like a hook thumb on the top of the XY buttons on the Super Nintendo controller. So I'm thinking with how are these guys controlling this and making this work? But they ran our asses. And then we played some land grab after that. I don't know if you guys have logged on since it switched over today. Was it today or yesterday? But land grab is back to being the featured mode. So if you
played 2 of those.
That's right.
Before this podcast, lost one, won the other one.
Okay. You ended on the W.
Yeah, because they pinged me because I guess they were. I don't know how true it was. They said they were losing like the last. It all started as like I was like, they've lost a whole bunch of them. It was Russell, Patrick, and maybe Jordan.
Somebody named Jason, friend of the show, Jason.
Maybe Jason.
Maybe Jason. Friend of the show, maybe Jason.
Jason.
Maybe Jason.
Jason.
And I think Russell had said he's like I don't know, maybe we suck because they were like, I think he said when he played with you, you guys were like 12-2 or something like that on land grab. And then when Patrick joined him, they were like 0-20 or something. So he's thinking it was Patrick. But I had only lost one, won one. So I mean, we lost the first one, and then I won the last one, and then I dropped off. So
I'm telling you, man, midweek. So we tend to play on lunch breaks on certain days through the week, and it's competitive. It's good. The 5:30 and later weeknights through the week, Halo is brutal. It seems like it's like we're in a pool of Halo gods. I don't know what happens, but I think that sounds like what they ran into, Cesar, before you got on there and straightened them out.
I'm not gonna say that because we lost the first one, but I don't know what they were doing because it's like we just follow the original thing we always do is we try to get 2 out of the 3.
Just take 2.
It was chaos with them because I was just like, I'm going to B, and then I'll follow somebody else. I mean, there's 4 of us. I mean, there needs to be 2 people in 2 zones. That's it. Yeah. I don't know what's happened before.
But I also think, and I feel like I confirmed that this past week, it is faster when you have multiple people there, like you've said. When you get more people on the space, it does feel faster.
But I think part of it's because they only had like a 3 out of 4 teams from what they were saying, so it helps to have a complete team of 4, so or at least everybody in the same chat, because whenever everybody else joins, they're in their party chat. So whoever's outside that party chat's iced out. So
yeah, that's true. They don't know you're playing, or all you can do is ping stuff, I guess. Mm-hmm. Which God bless Apex for bringing us that pinging system. That was like a huge. We're gonna look back. We look back now, but we're gonna look back several years from now. That's gonna be in every shooter. It's just such a huge thing, being able to mark stuff and things like that. It's a game changer. That is it. Those are my games played: GTA 5 and Halo Infinite. I did download. I downloaded the Live Alive demo. I pushed that to my Switch, so I might give that a shot. So that's why you were raving about it. So.
It's good, man. It's this. I think what was it? Rebecca from IGN. She had said it's one of those. It's like it's a weird RPG, man. It's like a bunch of short stories. It's those vignettes that those type of games.
Which I enjoyed with like Dragon Quest VII. I didn't get very far in it, but those self-contained stories were a lot of fun to go through. Or we didn't put it in news, but What Remains of Edith Finch has been ESRB rated for native Xbox and PS5 versions. And Brent, have you played that? Oh
no.
We did it as a game club game. It's probably, if it's a physical copy, I'll 100% buy it, but I'll probably day one that digital and play through it again on next gen just to experience that again. You played Journey, didn't you? It's not, I'm not going to say it's like Journey, but it's that same self-contained story that you could just take in like 2.5 hours, and it's worth your time.
All right.
Mine will be quick. I already talked about Halo Infinite. Outside of that, I finished Shadow Warrior after we did the podcast Sunday.
Before it got delisted.
Did the final level. I think I was done at like 11:30. I should have waited until midnight to see what happens if it's just like, this app needs an update, and it just kicks me out. I was curious.
Kicks you out.
But I didn't think about it, so I beat it.
Can you go back into it now? If you tried now, could you get in there?
It tells me it's whatever. You know how like you have those PS Plus, it has like on the PS3 it has like that clock, like you have until this time. And it's locked
1969.
So yeah, sure, the Unix date.
It's a Unix system.
I didn't go back. I just uninstalled it afterwards, so I beat it. I'm done with it. I'll probably never play it again. That is it for me on games played since the last 2 days. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about the 50 episodes of One Piece I saw within the last 2 days, but that's what most of the time I've been doing, just walking around, running on a treadmill, watching One Piece.
I'm gonna piggyback on Cesar's TV note. after our Turtles Mania when we played Shredder's Revenge, which I definitely want to get back to and finish up. I ordered the complete DVD set of, it comes in a big thick binder, of the original Turtles run. What was it, like 89 to 96 or something like that? And I've had it off to the side on my CRT. I'm playing it on the PS2, and my kids are totally into that show. They're 100% digging it. And they're learning, like all kids of our generation, they're learning to run a DVD player off of the PS2 controller. Like, that's how they run the PS2 menu. They're trying to load episodes. I'm like, no, hit down on the D-pad. They're hitting the stick. I'm like, no, hit the D-pad and then hit X, and that'll play your episode, and you can fire up some Turtles. And it plays, God bless that DVD, it plays the damn intro every single episode. And not like, these days on Netflix you'll see, hit that to skip the intro or something like that. It plays that shit every time you get the full intro. I'm like, yes. And they're like dancing to it and singing the song, and I'm like, validated.
It makes it worth that.
It's awesome, man, and they're totally digging it. And I glance over in the animation. Well, the animation was kind of suspect to start with, but those characters, they're timeless. They still are timeless. But that's what got me hooked on Turtles, and I'm glad they can experience it too, the way it's meant to be seen. DVD on a cathode ray tube TV is the way to go.
All right, Brent, finish that. Take us home.
Bring us home.
Mine's going to be extremely quick because I did not play a damn thing. Instead, I will talk about some... I'll do a little show and tell real quick of some stuff I got over the past couple weeks, and I meant to at least mention these last two last week, and I just forgot. Did get the Capcom Fighting Collection.
Yes.
So, bunch of new... fighting titles. It's pretty cool because you can go in. They've got the galleries and everything. You can actually switch between the different versions of each game, whether it's Japanese or English. And a couple of these games, of course, they were never localized, is what it seemed like, because there was only the Japanese version of the game. I'm guessing it has English subtitles, but I know there was a couple things where I'd switch over and everything would switch, but like 2 games, I think it was.
Interesting. I didn't mention it, but I played one round of this as well. I fired up one of the Darkstalkers game that's on there. One of them. Good scanline filter options on here too. Yeah, gone are the days where these suck, and me and Cesar were like, why would anybody play with these?
Yeah, no more Jim Ryan for me and Richard.
We're the Jim Ryan of scanlines.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to have to crack this one open and play a little bit of it very, very soon. I've got the House of the Dead Limited Edition for
I see what they did there.
It's got a little lenticular.
Stream it, Brant.
The zombie coming out.
Is it co-op?
Yes. But it is, of course, only like local co-op.
Couch co-op. I bitched about the lack of couch co-op until we're no longer able to couch co-op, and then I wish there was more online co-op.
I know you got really excited over that Battletoads remake, and then
that was one of them.
You were like, "Oh, we could do that. We could stream it. We could do this." And I was like, "Hey, no, it's couch co-op only."
Yeah. That killed it, which is surprising.
Dream's dead. Only the dream.
These last two.
Oh, what'd you get that? I'm sorry, Brant. What'd you get that Capcom Fighting Collection on? Did you get on both?
I got it on Switch. I may actually also get it on PS4 or Xbox later. These last two are some manuals for games.
Are they one of the 844? Oh,
this one is Heart Gold Soul
strategy
Silver,
guide, sir. That is not a manual. That is a strategy guide. I bet that was expensive.
Honestly, no.
Good find.
And it's actually in very pristine condition. Even has up in the corner it says Volume 1 mini poster inside.
And it's in there?
Has the little mini poster. It hadn't even been torn off of its perforation. It's in exactly just beautiful condition. I got this from, surprisingly, I was on Amazon, and that got recommended, and I was like, oh, okay. And I just pulled it up to look at it. I'm like, I bet this thing's expensive as hell. I'm trying to remember exactly where it came from.
It wasn't. It was a third
Somewhere-
party. It wasn't exactly Amazon.
Somewhere from Louisiana, and it was Friends of the whatever county library. I'm guessing this was something that they got donated because it is not a
Right.
book that was
It
in
wasn't
the library.
circulated
It
and
doesn't.
checked out.
No, it does not have a card nor stamped in it. It is. I mean, it's got like a few wrinkles on the
Maybe
back,
some sort of backstock.
but I
Do
don't
our
know.
libraries
But it is
have
in.
video games? Have you guys ever encountered that? I know some public libraries have video games.
I've never looked, honestly. That'd be something
I've
to
bought
do.
CDs, like
they-
music CDs that have library tags on them.
But they were selling this. All proceeds benefit that local library. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. It was fully shipped and everything, $17.
Wow. That's great.
And you look online, and for this quality, for good or very good quality,
Yeah,
is
Pokemon guides hold their value forever.
70, 80, 90
That
bucks.
was a great find.
And then the last one, of course, real quick.
Oh yeah, that came in.
Legends of Dragoon.
That came in at last. I was
strategy
gonna
guide.
loan you my copy.
The Prima's official strategy guide. This was almost 90, but it's in extremely good condition. I've been looking at a few of these for a while, and it's hard to find when you start looking at strategy guides. It's hard to find them in decent condition. Or if they are in decent condition, it's hard to find them at a reasonable price. Because I know Richard has a bunch of strategy guides. I don't know if you have too many Cesar, or if you ever really got into it. Nah. Strategy guides, if it's a rather lengthy game, or just something that I like. I've got my original like Pokemon Silver and Gold version up there that actually kind of mirrors this. It's not as freaking girthy as this guide is, though.
I miss the golden age of strategy guides.
I think for me, I'm the opposite of you guys. My books I'm mostly digital on books versus I am anything else.
Yeah. Oh, except for all that manga behind you.
Those are all anime
and
Blu-rays.
light novels.
Those are anime Blu-rays. All
Lies, sir, lies.
I have no books in this room.
Dang.
Not whatsoever. I have thousands of books on this device.
That's where your
Nice.
library is at.
I got 100 volumes of One Piece on there, all in Japanese. So that's where I get my Japanese stuff. So.
But I may have ordered another guide of a game that I just may have mentioned earlier in the show. But just like Richard was saying with the manual of those games, there's so much like concept art and stuff in these manuals, character art, detailed art of like the assets, the weapons, and the materials. A lot of times the RPGs, they'll have these beautiful
Those
and
are
detailed
great.
world maps. That to me, I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way to collect a bunch of strategy guides for a bunch of different things, but if it's particular games that I really
Feel
like
called out.
or hold some meaning to me, I'm definitely going to do that.
I probably don't need that strategy guide for Tiger Woods 2007 on my shelf, but it needed a home, Brant. It needed somewhere to go.
Hey,
Brant,
if that's your thing,
you've
that's
seen
your
my
thing,
surplus
man.
guides, right? Was there anything in there that
No, I don't think I have.
Guys?
I do not think I have seen your
I've
surplus
got a
guides.
rampant amount of surplus guides. Cesar's,
I will have to look at those.
the previously
eventually.
mentioned retailer, used to penny out guides on the regular, and I would scoop up guides for the two of us, since Cesar would not retrieve guides from the retailer.
I can't. I'll get fired from the said retailer.
And my retailer would also do the same. We would load up.
it was a huge red flag. They were like, all right, who's buying all these penny guides? And if my name was tied to it, I was gone.
Oh, so you'd give me the
I
heads
got
up.
more money sending it back to the publisher than selling them for a penny.
It's so crazy to me. Because they were pure profit when they sold them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that said retailer would, I mean, even with the said employee discount, all guides were 50% off. So that's how marked up because those guides were. So
Bring guides back, man. I think I supported all the recent ones that came out. I've got the Horizon Zero Dawn guide. I've got the Red Dead Redemption 2 guide. Just some of the recent ones that Last of Us 2, I think, had one.
The most recent one I've got a huge guide for Breath of the Wild.
That one had a huge one. With all those shrines and everything.
Nice,
yeah,
though.
those were good ones.
And that's a hardcover too. So
Yep. Is that it for us, gentlemen?
That's it.
Sweet hour and 10 minutes. We got 30 minutes we can kill to get to our magic. Remember, every episode used to be an hour and 40 minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.
adios.